Welcome back. Last time we left our motley crew, they had tunneled underground in their tunneling device.
That it totally didn't take us 20 minutes to figure out that was what we were supposed to do with it.
Listening back to it wasn't that bad. It was like 2 rounds of combat, it was only a few minutes, it's fine.
We're not stupid, we promise.
Faced off with the massive roiling mound of flesh that was the Scation Maw.
What a terrible thing.
Yeah, it did suck. In many ways. It made many tentacles, it attacked you all, but you all cut it up good and killed it. Victory celebrations were had in the form of marching back out of the hole and going back home. And that's where we'll start, because you all do officially get a long rest. I don't think, unless anything specific needs to happen at night.
Raestra did say that she was gonna tell me and Cal something before.
Oh yeah, it's just like she's
Okay.
just like trying really hard to like. You didn't remember. Like she's not actively reminding you. It isn't until one of you is like,
Yeah,
you said.
yeah.
She's like,
You said you had to tell us something.
shit. Yeah. Yeah, I should. If you're gonna be with us for a while, you should probably know. You should come back to our apartment. I feel like that's probably the safest place to talk about it. She looks at Nyx as if to be like, question mark?
I mean, it's the safest place I can think of.
Yeah, alright.
I'll be fair, I think I also need to say things.
Okay.
Without apologies.
So yeah, we'll go back to Raestra and Nyx's apartment.
Pick up Lemmy.
First off, Nyx will get the money.
Yeah, because Raestra's currently got the tentacle like wrapped around a spear like a rope.
How do you desire to what do you to communicate with the Imperial Magistrate?
I'm gonna take it off the spear and I'm gonna give it to Nyx. And I'm gonna be like, I need to not be here for this part.
Yeah, alright.
And she goes, and she looks at the two of them and goes, I'll explain later. I can't be here for this part. I'll meet you guys back at the.
That's fine.
And then she's gonna go.
So, you could say that, I was the one that took care of it, and that the reward should go to me, and then I'll split it up with the rest of you, just so that you have a cover so you don't stop, so that magistrate imp guy doesn't stop thinking that you're ISB. What do you think?
Yeah, okay. That checks out. Besides, my lower half is still my personal armor, and I really don't want to risk that getting outed, so, yeah, alright.
My lower half is Clack's armor defensively.
So he'll, pass the tentacle over to, Ash.
Ugh. I take it.
It is very large and very heavy. Raestra is V-strong, something we keep consistently needing to remember.
I would get in contact with that imp, and we can set something up and get that taken care of.
So the DM understands explain your plan to me as if I were a toddler.
Explain it to you like you were 5? Okay, so Nyx gets in contact with the magistrate saying that the problem has been taken care of, and we have the person that did it, technically, it's not a lie, and that they would like the reward for doing the thing. And we have proof that the thing was killed.
Yes.
And then we get the reward, we turn in the stinky tentacle that's about the size of my body, and then, we move on and we hear Raestra's tragic backstory.
Yes. So yes, Nyx is going to, I keep forgetting the imp's name. I need to write it down.
I will remind you that it is late. His name is Juris. Juris Limit.
Like, how late? How late are we talking?
His name is Juris. Jurisdiction.
Go to jail.
I
Go
made Justin
directly
take
to
his
jail.
glasses off. For the people who can't see the video feed, Justin just took his glasses off and just rubbed the bridge of his nose.
You know when Snoke was like, your spirit was split in half? That was me, because literally 50% of me was like, that's awful, and the other 50% was like, why didn't I do
think of that?
That would have been funny.
What are you, crafty?
All right.
Do that
Yeah, it's
again,
like-
and I will make Kalsheen swear.
It's like the middle of the night. We can probably do it.
Well, it's not the middle of the night. You went like
Right
dinner
after closing.
time. Yeah, you went
Oh,
like
yeah,
dinner
yeah.
time, but there was an hour, and it is evening, but it is Empire Day. But that's up to you.
It's Empire Day, and he's an imp on fucking Coruscant. He's awake, and if he's not, he's slacking.
Not that he's a bad imp, and that's a good thing to know for the future.
Yeah. So he'll go ahead and get Jars.
Are you attempting to comlink call him?
Yes. No hologram. Just
Well, you don't have a hollow one. You just have the fun pin. The fun pin. So you dial his number, and it's like the Skype noise when you're incoming, not outgoing. And it rings for a few seconds before it's picked up, and like in a hushed tone, though you can hear the sounds of like clinking glasses, muffled voices. It's like, yes, is there an update?
the trash problem has been solved.
You don't say. That's very good to hear.
I managed to scrounge up a couple of low lives to help me take care of the issue in itself. However, they are asking for payment, and I was informed that there was a reward for this.
There was a reward posted, yes. It was budgeted. You can, I will have it brought in to your workplace. You can hear the air quotes.
Yeah, drop it off there. Leave it with the with the owner named Dex. Also, one more thing.
Yes.
Has there been any more information about the situation regarding our little nudged gang war?
Not as of yet. I can't speak in much more detail currently, but nothing new.
No words of any person of interests?
Not exactly.
All right, I'll keep looking then. I'll keep you informed. Thank you. Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
Keep an eye open in that party. And then I'm just gonna hang up right there.
Just
Somewhere.
gaslighting this poor man.
House is there the whole time. One, gives you the biggest glare when you say low lives, and then two, just like, oh, I don't even need proof of this, and just sloths it off and just, it like wipes
Somewhere.
it on Nyx a little bit.
We as the audience see Juris Laneth kind of slump, like, hunched into a corner, and the look of shock, and he looks around when Nick says, keep an eye out at that party. But he didn't realize Nick's hang up. It's like, yes, of course, the eye out.
So stupid. Oh my god, he's so dumb. He's so dumb.
He's
What a
so dumb.
moron.
I have such affection for him, though.
I love him to death, but what a fucking idiot.
I can't, Justin, I can't believe you're actually making me feel bad for this. I cannot believe you're making me feel sympathy for fucking space Nazi.
Listen, the Empire is a cruel and merciless machine of authoritarianism, but not everyone inside it started out being evil. Wolf Yularen's a good man, and I'd like to believe stayed that way, but...
I'd like to introduce you to Bob the Hydra
Yeah.
Agent.
Eli Vanto. Another one.
Mithron Neurodo.
Yeah, from Eurodo.
So that is taken care of. That couldn't have gone better. I was like, how is this gonna happen? My brain ahead of time was like, how's this gonna happen? I guess it couldn't have gone better, in my opinion.
I'm not going to lie. If there's a chance to convert this guy, I might take it.
Do it! We need to free Juris from authoritarianism. That's what this is. First resistance my ass. We're just gonna start slowly stealing. We're not
Have you heard of
we're
Bail
not-
Organa?
First resistance, yeah, we're just gonna team up with Bail Organa,
Organa.
like...
We're just gonna no, we're not I was about to say we're never gonna even talk to the resistance. There's just a recurring theme of us de-radicalizing Nazis.
Actually, the resistances during the sequel era, they fought against the First Order. The Rebel Alliance fought against the Empire in
I'm not
galactic
gonna
civil war.
complain if this is how we live up to our namesake. It's just de-radicalizing these people who are Empire loyalists. I am here for it. Anyway, we head back to Raestra's place. Lemmy's with us. He's a good boy.
How's Cal feeling about this whole thing?
Oh, my feeling
Yeah,
Yeah.
about the conversation with Jarrus?
yeah, juris, but it's literally jurisdiction. But
He's just kind of he's like, for a moment he just doesn't really know how to process it, and then he just kind of like gets in like the elevator or whatever. I learn more and more each day that you clones truly are unique from one another.
Man, that imp was two screws short of a pack.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel bad.
I mean, okay, look. Nix, you did not have to send that man into a spiral of paranoia. That was your choice of your own of your own well-being. I hope you realize that.
And I'm very well aware of that. However, I can only imagine the stress I put him through right now.
I mean, this is the Empire. From what I can tell, no better place for villainy and scumbags. So,
I have a question. Call it a long shot, but what are the odds of you being able to get that man to give us a ship?
Do we really want to fly an Imperial ship?
I mean, we would have the codes for it. It would be ours, and we would be able to get in and out of places. It's not a bad if me going to my work, if I can't get in contact with Mr. Onaka and I can't get anything from my job, it's not a bad option.
So
you are
said
ISB.
You said Mr. Onaka out loud, and that felt wrong. That tasted bad in my mouth.
Please, Mr. Onaka was my father!
Mr. Onaka was my father!
He's been dead for 30 years!
If I'm going to lean into the southern accent, I'm going to pull out the southern mannerisms too. You can't stop me.
It's true.
Wait, one more thing. Instead of, please, Mr. Onaka was my father, instead it's, please, Mr. Onaka was a man that I killed.
I've only gone by Hondo for like 100 years, and I've lived for longer.
So anyway,
He's gonna think about it for like a moment. If I do get one, can you like scramble the code so this way that imps can't track us with it?
I mean, I can certainly try if you give me enough time to futz with it. Ships are kind of my bread and butter.
I'll try to get to Dex's early tomorrow so this way I can get the credits from him directly, and then I'll talk.
Make a lore check, any of you that want to.
Sure, I'm good at that.
I'm not here.
But we should, talking to this jurisdiction guy, we should really use that as a last resort.
His last name is not Diction, but sure.
That's what we're gonna
my
call him now.
God.
That's his code name. We're calling him Jurisdiction.
Oh my god, it's nice to know that today's gonna go great. That's a natural one.
Aw,
Nice.
poor baby.
What a tone setter! We love
22.
to see it.
22? He's a magistrate. Magistrates are like mayors. They're over a subsect of a planet. He's the magistrate of these lower levels. There are no ship building places or ship landing places on these lower levels.
No, but here's Paul. We don't know. He could call somebody.
It's worth a shot.
He might have a favor lined up or two.
Just wanted to give you a chance for your intellect to serve you.
Yeah. Just, it's a last resort that we may not even go down. Let me try my connections first, and then we can try your newly formed connection.
Sounds good to me.
So we get back to Raestra and Nix's place.
Yeah, so Nyx will lead the way back to the apartments.
Yes.
Raestra's drinking straight cold brew concentrate because it's been a very long day. And it's about to get a lot fucking longer. I saw you know what? I saw a fucking video on TikTok before I jumped in this call, and it's correct. It's a dude who's making cold brew concentrate, and they're like, use it with your favorite mix-ins. And he goes, oh yeah, this'll be great. So he pours the cold brew, and then pours regular black coffee on top of it. That's what we're doing. That's where we're at currently.
While
I
we're
will
walking,
have to correct you that it is calf in the Star Wars universe.
Shut up.
It's fine. Nix, by the way, ever since you put your carbine in my hands, I kind of want to learn how to use it, so maybe we can head down back to the trash when you got some free time and you can teach me how to use it and we can practice some shooting shit.
He's Nyx is like genuinely thinking about this for like a moment. I'm definitely okay with teaching you how to utilize it. However, the problem is that this particular model is out of circulation. And it brings a lot of attention. It's one of the reasons why I break it down to its standard parts and stow it away that way. So this way nobody can really figure out what it is unless they put it all together.
Oh no, that's fine. But I'm a fast learner, so just getting a general idea of what using one of those is like, even if I get my hands on like a newer model, I think would be beneficial.
Want my big brother to take me out to the shooting range. Teach me how to use his 22.
Radical.
That carbine's definitely not a 22, though.
Has that energy, though.
Alright, so yeah, back to the apartments.
Indeed.
Yeah, Nyx gets there just as he watches her pour the hot coffee into the cold brew and just fucking slams it like it's just takes like a mug, like just holds the mug incorrectly and just fucking tilts the whole thing back. Just watches her slam an entire mug's worth of fucking red eye and it's just like, yep, it's gonna be like this.
It is like near midnight.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna be here a while and I don't want to have this conversation, so here we are. She gestures to a different cabinet. She goes, would you rather I get drunk? You think that would make this conversation better?
He'll shrug and he actually goes for the cabinet.
Yeah, let's do both. Yeah.
Oh no, this is for me.
She's like, yeah, hand me a bottle of Everclear. Let's have me take a screenshot before I have this conversation.
No. This one's for me.
Yeah, spectacular. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have fun. He's gonna pass her back her cloak, and he's just, from neck down, clone armor, no helmet.
Yeah, she just looks at him and goes, I refuse to have conversations about the toxins that I put in my body from a clone. I refuse to let you judge the choices that I make with my diet.
Uh-huh. When'd you eat last?
Don't change the subject.
My body's a temple, yours is a mobile home.
Listen, I make breakfast every morning and all you eat is fucking toast. I always make enough for both of us and you always just get the toast and then leave, and then I never see you eat anything else.
I eat.
Does she run
When?
to work with the toast in her mouth, though?
I eat. Listen, I've learned to not eat in front of you anymore. I hate the way that you judge me. Every time. Every time we do this.
Because you eat a bowl of cereal.
No, I eat other things.
What other things? You don't eat other things.
The last time that I made myself a meal in front of you, all you did was criticize. So I just don't eat meals in front of you anymore.
Yeah, go ahead and tell the group what it was that you made you.
I made myself mac and cheese. Okay?
Kal'Shin is going to walk over. He's going to very carefully examine the dent that Raestra left on Nyx's armor. Yeah, she's eating.
Not on this clone armor.
That's on the. Yeah, I'm wearing my clone armor. It was the other armor. It was the other armor.
Yeah, the dent in the other helmet.
That is out.
Yeah, so you can like.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna look at it and I'm just gonna. Yeah, she's eating fine.
Yeah, I made myself mac and cheese, and he won't stop making fun of me for it.
Yeah, look, I literally make this. You know what? I'm gonna prove my point. And he just goes right into the kitchen and starts cooking.
I mean, with the money that I make, I would be glad to have a bowl of mac and cheese. It sounds delicious.
See? Exactly.
No. Here's the thing.
Protein's important.
I know how to make good food on a budget. And he starts breaking out eggs and like leftover meat bits that he's stored in the freezer. Breaks out a pot, puts it on the heater, starts throwing ingredients together, starts chopping things up. I create fantastic meals for people to enjoy. Myself and her included. However, she refuses to eat anything I cook because why?
Because it's... Listen, we don't have to have this conversation right now.
Also, to be clear, by going to the kitchen, you stepped to the other side of this one
the other side of
apartment.
this room.
Yes. With the little...
Nyx is absolutely the kind of person that could utilize whatever space is available to him.
It's because he's a snob. That's why.
No, it's not.
A lot of principle.
No, it's because it's called a solid, balanced meal keeps a mind sharp.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cheese and carbs is not a balanced meal.
he has a point, but that's we can look if we head back to my home if we head back to Shere Khan, I can hook you up with a good meal from where I'm from. So and we can talk more about Raestra's food crimes later. But there's some other things we need to be talking about right now. I assume
like her real crimes.
Raestra is an avid committer of food crimes. I will admit that right now. But yeah, she's like, okay, fine. No, we're all right. And God, I never thought that this would be a break. That this conversation would be a break from your bullshit. Spectacular. All right, fine. So, she takes the shield off and she puts it, like, in front of them. And she says, so this is mine. And she takes the saber out and turns the saber on. So the blade, she takes the saber out and then turns it on, and her blade it looks different out of the shield than it does in the shield. It looks like a Greek, I looked up the word for it, but I can't remember, but like a Greek, like a Spartan sword, like a close combat sword. So it's not as long as a lightsaber, it's only like that, maybe? And it's flat. The emitter on it is, again, like rectangular instead of circular. So it doesn't come out circular, it comes out rectangular. But it's red. And she says, so, I can't be seen around the Imperials, because they'll probably recognize me. I don't want to fucking talk about... Give me a second. She gets up. She opens a closet. And then you see her just, like, take, like, a chest plate. Like, you see her, like, open a box. So, like, where Nyx keeps his clone armor, and then you see her open a box. And she just takes, like, these pieces of, like, scrap metal? Okay. I look at the DM, wait for him to nod. Metal? Out, and she puts it on the table. Just this piece of... So she takes out this chest plate of just black, like, kind of like steel, but, like, just this black chest plate that has
It's shimmery and matte.
Yeah. That
like what
has
stormtroopers wear, but black.
And it has the Empire sigil on it. Well, you know what? I'll just post a fucking picture in the chat.
I've seen that suit before.
Have you?
Ask
Yes,
Cal.
we established this.
No, we established that you heard of.
Yeah, you heard of them. You haven't seen what.
I don't remember
Raestra
saying you
was.
laid eyes on one.
Oh, okay. I thought because I remember listening to previous sessions.
You've heard of them. You have not seen them, from what I can recall from listening to the episode back.
Okay.
No, you know what? It's better. She takes out the helmet, puts the helmet on the
Kept
table.
that?
Because yeah, it would have been the only thing she couldn't break down for parts.
Probably. Yeah. Hers is big though, to fit her big head. No.
But yeah, she puts the helmet on the table.
I've heard of these.
Yep. I was a first sister.
What does that mean? What did you do?
I was part of the Jedi Temple when I was very little. They actually almost didn't take me. I was too old. But I guess there was some kind of extenuating circumstance. I don't remember if it was something Dad said, something my master wanted, I don't remember. But they took me in, and I was at the archives when it happened. And that was the last day I saw my master. He left with the others. I haven't seen him since. I used to hang out there. He was a scholar. He was boring. I was a kid sitting in there reading books all day, learning. Just. He was a diplomat. And I don't know why they put me with him. Maybe it was because of this. She gestures to the Mandalorian armor. I don't know. I was punchy. I was a punchy kid. I'm a punchy adult, so...
That tracks.
Shut up. But...
I didn't mean that in a bad way. Anyway, continue.
But... I went to the temple. Same as every other day. They didn't take us with, we were Padawans. And one of the guards was there. And we were friends. I used to spar with him. He was more interesting. He told me better stories. And he told me that what the masters were doing didn't make sense. And I was a child. It made sense to me. They didn't let us do what we wanted. They were restrictive. It was worse for us there than it was other places. They were a cult. They were repressing us. They didn't let us be what we were supposed to be. And when you're little, and you're being told to do things you didn't want to do, and people are keeping secrets from you, and they're not telling you why they're doing the things they're doing, when an adult sits you down and tells you that all of the feelings you've had are right, and you trust them, you listen. So I went with him. I trusted him. I did everything he asked. And he was good to me for a while. For a long while. And then he wasn't. Maybe it was a slower gradient than that. Maybe there was more to it. Maybe he was changing and I didn't notice. I don't know. I was a kid. I was light years away from home. I heard that they told me things about what was happening on Mandalore, and I believed them because why would they lie to me? I didn't contact Dad. I tried after, but I couldn't get a hold of him. I don't know where my parents are. I don't know where my father is. I didn't have anything. I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have any place to be. And I did things I didn't want to do. Things that felt wrong. But I was told that the fact that they felt wrong was not because they were wrong, but because I was taught that the right thing was going to feel wrong. Because I had been taught wrong. Because the things that my family told me were right were wrong. And then I'm not going to talk about what happened. We don't know each other well enough yet. I just knew. There was a moment that I just knew that he wasn't the man I followed, that this wasn't right, that what we were doing wasn't right, that hurting people, killing people, subjugating people, forcing them to believe us or die wasn't right. And so I left. I had nothing. I had nowhere to go. I was a child when I left home. And when I came back, the first place I went was home. and he was smarter than me. So I just kept running, and I kept going, and it's why I'm here. Because I went where every single thing that doesn't have a place to go ends up. And that's it.
Ash will take a long pause. It was, certainly more than she had anticipated, and she knows she doesn't have the super major details at this point. Well, you're in better company now. We'll get off this rock, we'll go somewhere else, and we won't have to worry about any of this anymore.
I'm gonna be worrying about it as long as the Empire exists, but it's a nice thought.
Then it shouldn't exist anymore.
Yes, wishful thinking at its best. And he puts down bowls in front of everybody. It is a vegetable and meat stew with bread for everybody except for Ray, who gets 2 extra pieces.
He just starts eating it.
Ash will eat it.
Cal will also eat it.
It's fucking delicious.
Roll a cooking check with your cooking tools.
I'll roll a performance check.
Is cooking performance though? It's a
Cooking-
tool check.
Yeah, I would say it's performance.
Sure.
If not performance,
dex.
sleight of hand. But
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing.
Cool. So the funny thing is that like I plan on taking the chef feat later on in the game.
Okay.
Because I did want to establish that Nyx. I do remember establishing that Nyx was good at cooking before.
Yes.
However, as of right now, his charisma is an 8, so he gets a -1 to his roll. That is still an 18, though.
It's good. It is delicious. So you're telling me you rolled a 19?
Yes.
Okay. All right. CT 1919.
Fuck it, I'm changing that to his code name now.
No, it's 3535. I have it written down.
Okay, fine.
I should apologize.
Or
Earlier I said that I'm an actual Jedi, and I'm used to running, as if none of you were.
no, you didn't. No.
It's not even just that. I should have. He gestures to Nyx. He's a clone. And
Only by birth.
so is the rest of them.
For the audience, Justin took off his glasses and rubbed the bridge of his nose again.
It wasn't my intention to make the rest of you feel like you weren't struggling. I simply wanted to give that young woman a chance to escape without putting the rest of you in harm's way.
No, I understand.
Listen, we're all people just trying to get by on Coruscant during Ascension Week.
God, I want to get fucking out of here.
I'm working on it.
Do you have any fucking idea how fucking constant? I'm so glad she puts her hands up and she's like, genuinely, the good part about having this conversation is now you get to understand how much Ascension fucking Week sucks. I have to sit here, listen to this bullshit constantly. This fucking sucks. It's the worst. I hate it.
I'll be real, I'm just glad I found someone else who gets it.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
There is nothing better than a holiday of people celebrating the death of my people.
At least with you now sharing your burden on the two of us, we can help you carry it to the best that we can. In your we're stuck together at this point, and I'm the odd one out here. I haven't gone through what you have gone through, so the least I can do is pull my own weight and help you guys through whatever bullshit you went in through the past. As the best I can. I know I can't do. I'm just a mechanic, but
It's alright. In the grand in the grand scheme of it, I'd rather that you just be a mechanic. God, I don't think I could handle one more of us.
I'm not. Look, I don't know how to feel about me being force sensitive. I have a lot of mixed feelings now, especially after everything I've heard the last 2 days. But
It's an unfortunate fucking time for you to find out. Truly, I'm sorry.
yeah, but like I'm not gonna try and play therapist or nothing. But I am gonna try and be your friend.
Thank you.
You've already done so much for us. If you ever do want to at least learn a couple of things that you can use to help defend yourself, I'm more than happy to teach.
Once I untangle the mess of feelings that I'm working through with that right now, then we can move on to talking about lessons.
Yeah, feelings are a little bit new to the Force, I'm not gonna lie.
Raestra sits back and she crosses her arms and she goes. She just looks at Kal'Shin like they're new to your side of the Force.
I know. I definitely, when we head back to Shere-Khan, I definitely want to talk to my mentor about it. I don't know. He's been around a long time. He might have some old people wisdom that might help me out. I don't know.
Nyx, during like a good part of this conversation, while everybody's been eating eating the stew that he made and enjoying it, he's been sitting at his table. He's been kind of like sitting down with the bowl in his lap, just staring at his blaster on the table.
You okay, Nyx?
Yeah. Sorry.
You're spacing out there for a moment.
Yeah.
She kind of pauses and she looks at him and she goes, "Do you want me to put it away?"
Oh, no, I'm good. Ascension Week is not good for me either. And he kind of lifts up his glass and downs it. Ascension Week is the day I lost my family.
He kind of blinks and Kal'Shin just kind of blinks and just like has to stop for a minute. Your family?
My brothers.
Oh, okay.
Ascension Week marks the day they branded me a traitor for not understanding and asking questions.
I know we can never replace, and I would never hope to replace, but I hope in time this little ragtag group of misfits and outcasts can hopefully at some point also be considered your family.
I may not be one of your kind, and I can't replace the connection you had with them, but I do consider you to be a friend at least.
Might still be some of you around too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, just because listen, clones regard each other as brothers, right? That's what we do. We have to. We've all gone through the same training, been through the same experiences, and all made for the same purpose, which was to fight and die for the Republic. We're taught that day one. But in one day, suddenly that purpose was taken away from me. And I'm not saying I wanted to die. I was willing to die for the Republic. We all were. We all are. I don't know. He's gonna start staring at his blaster again. He'll pick it up by the muzzle and drop it into the bin and close the locker. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're currently surviving.
And that's it. That's all I'm doing.
And sometimes that's all you need to do. You don't finding a new purpose you were literally made for. Finding a new after the thing that you were made for is completely gone. I can't imagine what that's like, but I'm sure with enough time and everything, you can hopefully find a new thing. But right now, surviving's just all that matters.
It's time I don't have. You all age at your own pace. My age is doubled. I have
Halved.
maybe another 15, maybe 20 years before my body gets too old and I'm dead. And dying of old age for some reason is the worst possible thing I can think of.
Yeah, it's not great.
Nyx is gonna, or not Nyx, Kalsheen is going to pretty quickly finish his bowl. I don't think the Republic is dead.
What?
I don't think the Republic is dead.
Technically speaking, the Republic isn't dead. They're still... They still have voting systems, right? They still hold meetings with Senate members.
They do, but
There's still, quote unquote, and he puts quotation marks, democracy.
yeah.
Nyx, I'm fairly certain you know what I mean. I know you called it wishful thinking earlier, but every single word spoken by every single person in this room gives me more reason to believe that the Empire... It's not that it just should be taken down, it has to be.
Alright, listen.
I mean, he's right.
Everyone thinks that there's some way that the Empire can be taken down, and that's easy to say and well enough. But we're certainly not going to take it down. We're 4 outcasts. Well, technically 3, but 4 outcasts who the Empire, if found out anything of us on our personal lives in any way, would hunt us down and kill us the moment they even heard of us.
I mean, it can't be just us. It can't be.
A bunch of people must think that this whole empire's real shitty. Like, there has to be someone. Like, I'm not saying that we have the power right now to do anything about it, but there's gotta be something boiling under the surface. It only makes sense.
Nyx, out of everyone here, and he kind of looks at Raestra and he sort of looks down at himself and he's just, I'm fairly certain that you're the one most experienced with the Clone Wars. I think, possibly. We've made unlikely allies many, many times during then.
It's possible. There's faults in everything. There's holes in every set of armor. You can't plate it all. And, she gestures to Nyx. Your dumb bullshit should have had us made days ago, but here we are. Some of them are stupid, some of them don't know what they signed up for. I was in the highest echelons another person could be in that wasn't. And then she just kind of. You see her, start to say something, and then she just kind of stops. The highest echelons a person could be in. There's holes in it. One of the reasons I heard they wanted me in the first place was because Mandalore knew how to fight Jedi before anyone else did. Some of our old tech, some of our old strategies, it was stuff they had me share. She looks at Cal and she goes, I could probably kill you without a lightsaber if I wanted to. I know how.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I know how. I know how they fight. I know how they think.
If I may. He looks at Cal sheepishly. I kinda do as well.
Yeah.
Clones are more or less trained to fight any kind of enemy. We're not expected to fight Jedi. At least we weren't supposed to. But we were prepared for it.
No, this is good.
I mean, we're only 4 people, but we can always
We are.
Guardians of the Galaxy. No.
Credits roll.
We are, and mind you, I don't want to say this necessarily to offend anyone, but simply just to make sure we all understand our strengths, but we are someone who has received some of the best training the Empire could possibly give. A war-torn soldier who's gotten a ton of experience from one of the biggest wars in the universe, and a multi-talented mechanic. And I can at least make sure you all get back on your feet should you fall off it.
You want us to go looking for people who are willing to go up against the Empire?
Here, I mean, I don't think Cal necessarily has a bad idea here, but we need to radically scale it down.
We've just gotta. That's what I'm saying. We can't be the only ones.
If we can, we should find others, but like it would be very difficult. Like we would have to be so careful about this.
Yeah.
Like I'm down to help people. Like we should, because like finding others that are gonna be, rebellious against the Empire is gonna be very hard to do. I
probe
wouldn't know
droid
the
pops
first.
up through the window. Are you guys talking about overthrowing the government?
Yes, we are! Would you like to join us?
Heck yeah!
Roger.
Learn about all the core world stuff and living in the Outer Rim for so long, so isolated, it would be a good excuse to travel around and see what we can find and maybe hopefully make contact with some other people. But, until then, we can always just carve out a little niche for ourselves, helping people wherever they need it. We don't got to do anything super big scale. We can just a small bit of kindness can go a long way.
I'm alright with that.
I don't think we're under any circumstances prepared to go step to the Emperor or anything like that, so doing what we can realistically do, I think, is what we should focus on.
Cal nods.
I want to find out what happened with Mandalore.
A very important point of order. You did try to go to Mandalore. You were stopped in your tracks because Mandalore, at this point, we were confused about this. When you went, and at this point, Mandalore is occupied fully by the Empire, and when you went, there was a blockade of ISDs, Imperial Star Destroyers.
Mm-hmm. Knowing my people, I would imagine Mandalore is probably not happy about being subjugated by someone else.
DM.
Yeah.
I meant to ask you this before, but the conversation kind of went a little... Well, it didn't go sideways, in fact, kept on track, but when Ash said that there has to be somebody who has been kind of like out there, is it possible I can make a lore check to see if maybe I can think of somebody who has been vocal? At least on Coruscant?
It'll be a very high DC.
The name, Bail Organa.
Bail Organa is from Alderaan. He wouldn't be on Coruscant a lot.
He's a senator.
He's a senator. He's here literally all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not supposed to die for like another 14 years. We're good.
We're good. We legally can't get him killed. It's fine.
19.
19? Their statement is not false. People speak out against the Empire. Some people get quelled. It's like sometimes you have to look for it. Sometimes it comes out of the din. But some people are like, it sucks.
Is there anybody of note?
With a 19, you don't remember names. You're not politically savvy, nor are you on Star Wars Reddit.
You're not on Star Wars Reddit.
r/incinerate the Empire.
No, instead of r/the Donald, it's r/the Senator.
r/the Palps.
Emperor.
Yeah, r/the Emperor.
r/the Sheev.
The Sheev.
r/the Palpatimes.
If I can't send a message to Mr. Aonaka, he was clearly smuggling something. There's no doubt he probably heard something through the grapevine. He might have heard something if we can get in contact with him. That might
Hondo
be a
is
good
the
place to start.
answer. Hondo is the answer to all your problems.
He
Can
really
I roll a
is.
lore check to see if because my whole job was to stop this. Can I roll to see if I remember anything?
Sure.
I'm not even gonna ask because, like, I'm from the outer rim bumfuck nowhere, so I'm not even gonna bother.
It's a 7.
You killed people that they told you were traitors.
And we can't go to them anymore. They're
Also,
dead.
a very important point of order because you said, and I would like to remind you that this is a canon fact, you knew, it was very clear in both, like, Imperial handbooks, in the military hierarchy, an Inquisitor wearing armor such as yours outranks anybody. If an Inquisitor gives an officer orders, they say, yes, sir.
You know who I was talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, you knew that, like, no matter where you were, even if it was an admiral, you could give an admiral orders because it's in the Imperial handbook somewhere. Mm-hmm. That black armor outranks everything.
There was only one person who was higher ranked than me.
Imagine telling Thrawn to go do something.
I could have.
That would be amazing.
You can't.
Anyway.
He's not here. He's not here.
Look, I get these thoughts and I have to express them out of my mouth. Otherwise, they're just gonna bug me forever.
ISD would get a little funky because, again, ISD is like the not CSI. Jesus, the
FBI.
And the FBI mixed with the CIA, like, mix everything Cloak and Dagger about both of those, and that's what the ISD is.
Oh, so Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Calcine's actually gonna get up. I'm gonna. It might be a bit early for this, but I'm gonna go ahead and go get some. Go ahead and head to my place. I need to, regardless of where you all stand, I need to think about what my next move for the Empire is going to be.
Yeah, I think it's time we...
Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. Are
You
we
have 60
really
seconds.
flirting with the idea?
We're past flirting
with the idea of making moves against the Empire?
We're past flirting with it. We've taken it. We've wined it, dined it, and taken it home for dinner. We're past this point.
Am I the only one here that thinks this is a bad idea?
Yes.
Look, I'm on board with the idea, but, like, we can't go whole hog. We got, like, I'm the one exercising caution here.
We're not gonna go 10 rounds with the Emperor tomorrow. But I mean,
hey, he's a frail old man. You could take him. It would only take like 2 rounds.
I could, but I don't know how well I could take his vaporizer.
Just wear a rubber suit and you'll be fine.
No, I don't know how to stress to you. In all the propaganda, in the news, he's just an older gentleman with a big nose and blonde hair.
Yeah, again, he's fine. I don't know if I could take the vending machine that sits next to him all the time.
That you're aware of that.
Yeah. She's like, no, we're not gonna go up to the senator's office tomorrow. But, like,
There is a long game that needs to be played, and to put it in a way that she would, I'm going to win. It'll take a while, but I am going to win.
Nyx is, like, visibly conflicted.
she's gonna sit down, like, in front of him. You spent a fourth of your life doing whatever they told you. You spent another fourth of your life running from any kind of consequences. Do you really want to spend the other half that's left hiding?
You guys said it yourself. I might have to go against my brothers, and I don't know if I can do that.
Then don't. It's Nyx. You don't have to do that.
None of us would ask you to.
There's a chance that we'd never even see troopers. Clone troopers aren't what they're gonna use 90% of the time.
Raestra knows.
I do know.
Yeah. You don't have to share.
No,
It
I'm
might
not.
be-
I'm not going
it
to
might be
because that's morbid.
disturbing.
But
Yeah.
the troopers in the white armor—that's what we're going to be up against most of the time.
Yeah,
Nix.
I won't make you fight your brothers. It won't happen.
This is something to fight for. It's something to put your skills towards.
And if you were saved from all of this, maybe we can save some of them.
It's also not just that, but I've also formed a connection with some of your brothers before. My master had clones accompany her. It was he's gonna open up the does the window have curtains or like
Blinders.
Yeah.
blinds? Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and open up the window blinders. I don't think this was the world your brothers fought for. And I don't think you trying to go against the Empire is fighting against your brothers, but more for them. This wasn't their choice.
Nyx is going to take off the plate parts of his armor. So it's just the under. What's the stuff that you put on underneath plate armor?
It's just like an undersuit.
Yeah. He's just gonna have that on. He's gonna grab Ray's cloak again. Grab his hiding helmet. I'll call it. I need to go for a walk.
All right. Be careful.
Why would I stop now? And he's gonna leave.
I didn't say anything wrong again, did I?
She just sighs and she says, "No." He probably needed to hear it. He's a good guy, but it's hard.
I would imagine so. I mean, like I said, I can't even imagine to begin what that must feel like.
Given
It's
the way that they are now, at least the last ones that I saw, I kind of understand. It's like I said, I saw most of it. There was only a couple of people, well, there was one person higher than me.
I should head to bed, but tell your friend I said thank you for dinner.
Ah, well.
And I am sorry again.
It's like I said. He needed it, I needed it. I think it'll be fine.
Well, if any of you need me, I'll be around the corner, I suppose.
It's true.
And I'm not too far from here either, so.
Such an odd coincidence. None of us ran into each other in the Clone Wars.
I mean, like, from what I'm gathering from context clues, this was, like, galaxy-wide, so, like, the galaxy isn't exactly a small place, so it's not unlikely that you guys would have never run into one another.
It's
I
true.
suppose, but, you know.
I mean, she looks kind of nervous. She goes, "You might have run into me."
Darth Maul appears. You know, the more you live in this galaxy, the more you realize it's actually very small.
If anyone's on Star Wars Reddit, it's Maul.
It's small.
I mean, it's possible I've seen Nyx before and just haven't realized it, but
Also true.
They are a dime a dozen.
That's racing.
No, every clone is very special in their own way. None of that nonsense.
You know, just if you don't account for facial structure.
They suffer from
Or
same face syndrome,
or
it's
any
fine.
sort of DNA evidence.
They're twins, multiplied by, like, millions, it's fine.
She's gonna pause. She's gonna stop Cal before he leaves, and she's gonna say, "Do you know about him?"
About Nyx?
No.
About your master?
Maybe. No, that's not what I meant, but yeah, also. But how much do you know about the higher echelons in the Empire?
Not a lot. I had simply heard tale about the, I'm sorry, I don't think you ever really gave them a name.
Inquisitors.
I had heard about them, but I don't really know too much about them. I'd never run into one.
Well, before you go, something important to remember. We were about as high as it gets. Armor like that, it didn't matter whose ship I was on, what their title was, where in the galaxy we were. If we were there, we were Sir. They took our orders, they did not give them to us. There was one person who is above us. And he's the reason that you don't make moves on the Emperor. Met him a few times, not often. He didn't like us. I don't think he liked anybody. But he wore black armor like we did. I don't know if he still does. And I just remember he was a void. It was so strange. Like everything. It's like looking into a black hole. It was just black. And everything around him that had any tint of light just seemed to get sucked into it and disappear.
Do you have a name?
We called him Vader.
I know I don't know anything about Vader. Do I know anything about Sith?
Make a lore check.
We heard... I remember there were
Damn it.
rumors in the barracks that he was... Would I know Grievous?
I mean, people knew of Grievous. He was.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Would I have known of Grievous? Because this isn't like a I was about to say this isn't a nuanced comparison. I just wanted to know if I would know who this was. She says, there were rumors in the barracks that he was like Grievous, that he was some kind of. We even heard rumors that he was just a droid that they had built. We never saw him without the armor. Never saw him without the helmet.
Can he use the Force?
Yes.
Yes, but not like I'd ever seen it. It's... She kind of thinks for a minute, and she says, I don't know how you see it, and she gestures to Cal. But
For me, it's a tree.
for me, it's a machine. When I use it, it's pieces, parts, clicking together to make the machine run whatever program I need it to run. It's taking things apart, putting them back together in an order that makes what I want happen. To me, it was as if he would turn them... It was as if he would turn the cogs backwards by hand. For you, it would be as if he grabbed the Force by its trunk and bent it into shape. It wasn't elegant, but it wasn't brutal. It didn't break under his fingertips so much as he just bent it around him.
I think I get what you mean.
I've never known fear like that. I've been afraid plenty of times, but not like that.
I rolled a 9 on my lore, by the way, for the Sith.
Always two there are. Yoda said that a lot.
The most I know about...
They're evil.
They're evil.
Not
That's
even
it.
just in context
Bad,
of the Sith.
dark
That's
side.
just something he would say a lot.
Yeah, I mean, truly, yeah, you were a pure Jedi. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
Why would they have told you anything?
You only know like the Boogeyman stories, and she didn't say Darth because they never called him Darth. They called him Lord Vader.
No, we called him Lord Vader. So that's why she would only refer to him as Vader.
Can I roll another lore check in regards to Raestra's master, since she asked?
Yeah.
Or would I just not know?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a lore check.
God damn, no dice
I know.
today, huh? That's a 10.
There were a lot of studious, bookish Jedi. Jocasta knew. Teresa Nube was also, but none of that seems to line up. Terra hasn't had a Padawan in years that you knew of. He taught younglings while Yoda fought in the war.
Can I provide him with information about my master?
Your master doesn't have the name yet.
Oh,
It's fine. There will be cool things about it, I promise.
Jesus, I know where my other master is. He's still around. I've seen him a few times since. He hasn't seen me.
It's the one you sparred with, right?
Yeah.
I don't know of any other Jedi except
Did you
for
give me a
myself.
name? I don't remember if you gave me a name.
I don't think he ever gave you a name.
Yeah, I know where he is. He's around. I try and avoid him. Listen to some of the radio chatter from time to time to make sure that I'm as far away as humanly possible. Don't have a ship anymore.
I'm fixing that, so hopefully. Crossing my fingers.
Yeah, call him tomorrow, like, as soon as you can.
If he left contact information, it'll be the first thing I do tomorrow morning, but if he didn't, I'm up the creek without a paddle. I'm up the mine shaft without a transport.
We could probably figure it out. He's a pirate, he can't be that hard to find.
Especially one as boisterous as he is. But we should probably call him that.
Alright.
Nix, what are you up to?
So at this point, Nyx is like making his way through the streets, and I'm sure like everybody's like, celebrating Ascension and whatnot. So he's kind of like walking past everybody, keeping his eyes open to make sure that he doesn't bring any attention to himself by any imps or stormtroopers or anything along those lines. How many days left of Ascension Week is there?
4, because it's been 2, right?
Yeah, it's been 2, so we got 4
Yeah.
more.
Well, 5. Basically 4, because it's about to be 3. It's like midnight,
When like some stormtroopers pass by, he's gonna think back on the day he got his armor.
Yeah, you are walking past 2 stormtroopers, and then as they pass you, it's like a wipe transition to everything's white, everything's shiny. You, instead of walking down a Coruscant street, are walking towards your locker, which you've had. It's been assigned to you, but inside now is your new set of armor, because you and your squad have passed the trials. Your training has been complete. Sharp and Ranger have already put theirs on, but you kind of are savoring this moment.
Yeah, he's beaming. He's like looking at the helmet, examining it, stuff like that, just trying to make sure that like it's actually new armor and it's not like hand-me-down, because he had heard like down the grapevine that like sometimes like if a clone dies they have to like repurpose the armor.
If it is, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Sharp actually inclines his head. He's sitting on a bench. What's that big dumb grin for? It's all the same. Mine, yours.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we did it.
Of course you did.
Well, yeah, but like, look, we're finally in the armor.
Did you ever doubt us?
No, of course not. But like,
Index chimes in. Actually, many times.
well, listen. We finally get to actually do what we were made for. We get to fight for the Republic. For safety and security.
Ranger is like already like cleaning his gun. Yeah, shoot some clankers.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna start putting his armor on, like it's still like beaming. As he kind of like puts it on. What do you think our squadron name should be called?
Sharp's like, that's not silly.
What do you mean? I mean, listen. Every squad that makes it in the charts usually has a name. I mean, we have to make sure that a Jedi picks us up and gets us in. I'm betting on. Listen, I have high hopes, but I'm betting on Skywalker picking us up, and we got to make a good impression. So I was thinking we could call ourselves the Minox Squadron.
Index puts a finger. Well, technically, we're Squadron 9133. But my Nox Squadron does have a ring to it. It'll be shorter to say.
Yeah, exactly. Not to mention, it's the kind of name that'll stick with you. We have to make sure that we are the perfect pick for a Jedi. Even if Skywalker doesn't pick us up, it could still be any one of the generals.
Sharp laughs. It's like, of course you got your eyes on the 501st. None of us are 501st material.
Oh, come on. You were one of the best shots. Index can remember every single bit of information that is put into his head. We all have skills to present to Skywalker in the 501st. I heard that Rex is looking for some new recruits.
The locker next to you shuts, and it's your squad leader, Creed. And he's like just put on his armor and he crosses his arms. A stance he takes often. It's like, now, that's... Dreams are for when you're asleep. But we do gotta focus on what we can do. And you know what? My Nox Squadron is as good a name as any. And he like pats you on the shoulder.
After he gets patted on the shoulder, he's gonna put his helmet on, get it nice and secure.
And Index kind of adjusts his helmet. Yeah, there are, I suppose, worse electricity sucking leeches that we could be named after.
Exactly. Now let's go fry some clakus.
Ranger like kind of not points his gun at you because you know that's bad gun training, but like gestures at you like that's exactly what I was thinking. And then that's the end of the flashback. How does D. Bradley Baker do that?
How do you give them all their own personalities and do the same voice?
Seriously, D. Bradley Baker, whatever he's getting paid, it's not enough.
Not enough. For all the back massages he needs from carrying that show.
I know!
D. Bradley, did you hear that D. Bradley Baker's in traction from carrying the entirety of the Clone Wars?
In Bad Batch, the credits just say D. Bradley Baker as the Bad Batch. Doesn't even bother spelling out each one.
Aw, that's bullshit. It's funnier when it's like D. Bradley Baker, D. Bradley Baker, D. Bradley Baker, D. Bradley Baker.
Man, it does work.
Nix cannot help but feel better seeing people in Stormtrooper armor.
Seeing the lame bullshit that the kids have now.
But you can't even see out of those eye holes.
It's not even just like critiquing just the bad design of the armor, but the fact of the matter is that these volunteers have none of the training, none of the discipline, and none of the skills that clones have brought to the table. And here they are walking around like they're hot shit. Like they own everything. Like they can boss people around. I bet they can barely fight. Like Nix thinks to himself, a little bit out loud, but like more so to himself. I bet they don't even know how to fire a DL-33 correctly. There's this moment where he stops, thinks back to what Rey and everyone else said, that these aren't clones. They're not his brothers. And these aren't, and this isn't the Republic that he fought for. This isn't what his brothers sacrificed their lives for. I'll take a deep breath and I'll head back to the apartment.
Alrighty. Kalsheen wanted to do one thing before sleepy time. What was that, Kalsheen?
Ash had something too. It'll be real quick.
Yeah. Well, let's do Ash first then.
Okay.
It hasn't been her turn for a bit.
Yeah. So she'll go back to her apartment with Lemmy, and this is when she'll get her
Message
from her mentor,
Earl.
And does she have the capability? She obviously received it on Lemmy. Can she like send one back through?
You can record one and leave a message, yeah.
I'll do that. Can I do a holo, or am I stuck to doing audio? Because I got a video from Earl.
I don't think you put a camera in Lemmy.
I can do
You
it.
put a projector.
Later. I'll do that later. Hey, Earl. Things have been going here on Coruscant. Fortunately, they haven't been panning out the way I was hoping. Maybe I was too bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I don't know. Mechanics aren't really the way to really make it here on Coruscant. You gotta schmooze with other people, and that's just never been my thing. I'm not brave enough for politics.
Somewhere on a desert planet, a Jedi Master sneezes.
But I made friends, though. An interesting bunch. And you might be hearing from me real soon. Send my parents my regards. And I love y'all. And then I sign off.
Yeah. Alright, Kalsheen, what did you want?
Oh boy. Okay. So he's gonna enter his apartment home, his trailer park that he can't move. And he's sitting on the conversation a lot. He's sitting on the conversation prior where he said that he was an actual Jedi and that he's used to running. And he's going to head to sleep.
Yes. Raestra, you haven't gone to sleep yet because Nyx is on his walk. But everyone has left your room and you're sitting there. And it's been a while since you thought about all that happened to you, and you just kind of spilled it all out on these people. And so like a brain is wont to do, you're kind of like dwelling on it, repeating little bits, and it's all like swimming in your head. And your hand is on your knee and it kind of grips tight as an unwanted memory resurfaces. When you've experienced pain to such a degree, when you remember it, it's like you're feeling it. It's like the phantom feeling when you get amputated, but you feels like it's still there. And you're in a chair, and pain is just coursing through you. It's like your blood is electrified, and every pump through your veins causes just hot, kind of searing pain. And you fight to keep your eyes open, because on the other side of like a viewport is your master and him. The pain kind of lessens for just a few seconds, and you like heave in some breaths, and you're looking at them, and you can see that they exchange words. The Emperor has high hopes for this Inquisitorious order. This is not hope that I share. Your master says, I will not fail our Emperor, and neither will my selected brothers and sisters. We shall see about that. The torture devices haven't been turned back on, but the figure, the armored black figure, strides toward you, almost as if levitating. You don't even see it. You don't even see the movement of his hand, but a lightsaber comes out and right next to your face, and it kind of closer until you can feel it, and then it's left there for far too long. That's how you got that scar on your face.
Nothing. She doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
She's almost too afraid to. There's more fear that screaming out in pain will be worse.
I just hope you are correct, and this one learns how to channel this fear.
Fucking scary. Why is Vader so fucking scary, man?
He's very scary. But that's the end of that flashback. Everyone gets a long rest.
Yay!
It's too bad that Nyx, while you're sleeping, you're overtaken by a dream.
It's shot in both knees.
Surgical. Almost surgical. You feel yourself falling. Everything around you is gray and hazy, like you're trapped in a bottle and there's nothing but fog on the outside of it. But you don't fall for very long before landing face first onto soft gray padding. You look to the side and see gray square segmented walls, and you hear footsteps behind you. Then a voice. Not scaring hotshot, now we have no chance of passing. It's the young voice of Sharp, one of your squad mates. You push yourself up onto your knees and turn to see all of your young squad mates standing over you, looking quite unamused. You look up to see the distant ceiling of the training course you were just running through before. But you must have triggered one of the pit traps. You open your mouth to defend yourself, but you're cut off by Creed, the one standing in the front with his arms crossed. We know, you thought it would work. You wanted to help and had some broad idea to do it like no other squad had before. But we're soldiers, Nix. And good soldiers. The scene changes, and you're not young anymore. You're an adult in your full armor. The outside of your perception is still a little hazy, and you see you're still on your knees, kind of, you had just pulled yourself up from being on the ground, and you look one way, and there's a crowd of protesters being led away at blaster point by your squad. You look the other, and still standing above you is Creed, but he's an adult in his full armor. And he's standing above not only you, but the Jedi General that you were working with in these moments. Their features are also clouded in this fog, as if you just can't bring yourself to remember what they looked like. And Creed finishes what he was saying, follow orders. And then there's like a pause as the whole world kind of like starts to slow down, like the footage is being slowed bit by bit until it all freezes, and then you hear again, good soldiers, follow orders, as if someone had hit repeat on a recording, and then again and again, and it starts to like even fold over each other, like all your squad mates are saying it to you. And then you wake up.
He's gonna shoot up in a cloud of sweat, gripping his head.
Raestra's gonna turn around, already having been awake for several hours. Having maybe not slept, you're not sure. You don't know.
Wait, before we establish this, Raestra also has a dream.
Fuck.
Raestra, you see nothing but darkness. An impossible darkness, like you're in a vacuum, the center of a singularity where light particles can't even hope to exist. You look around, but that yields nothing, as you can't even tell if what you return your gaze to is even the same direction you were facing originally. But then you hear something. A slow, shallow breath in. Then you see a figure before you, highlighted as if it's the only source of light in this place now. She's small and lithe, with green skin that has little blue dots all over it, and long, thin leku. She's strapped to a chair with her hands bound behind. Her posture is slumped, and her head is down. You watch her take another breath in, her whole body trembling ever so slightly with emotion. She's in pain. You can almost feel it in your body. A familiar constant burning that forms a steady current through every blood vessel in your body, like your blood is electrified. As she exhales, her lips move. You see them, but somehow hear the voice only as a whisper almost directly in your ear. Please. Please, I need help. I don't know who you are, but please. Then suddenly you're not looking at the girl in the chair, you are the girl in the chair. The pain you were only sort of feeling, now unmistakably strong and familiar. It's still nothing but darkness around you, but you feel as if bright and oppressive lights are all around you. Your thoughts convey something similar to what that girl just said to you, but all that escapes your mouth is a scream, loud and full of anguish. When you've let out all the air in your lungs and have no choice but to stop for a breath, suddenly the pain lessens, the device causing this torture, lowering their intensity, and you take that moment to gulp in a deep breath, your brain again wishing for this to end, for someone to help you, your clan, the Jedi. But all you hear in response is... and you wake up.
Oh yeah, I woke up fucking hours ago!
yeah.
I've been up for fucking... She woke up and her first fucking thought was, this is why we don't mix coffee types. I'm gonna fucking...
Nix wakes up in a cold sweat, gripping the left side of his head, kind of wincing.
She's
taking a deep breath.
Just gonna offer him some water.
He's gonna take it and he's gonna look at her.
You were having a hard time. I was gonna dump it on your head to wake you up, since I thought touching you was probably a bad idea, but you woke up before I did that, so.
Right. Yeah. Thanks.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just more conditioning, I guess.
Yeah, well. She sits down next to him, and she nods a little bit. She says, I think it's too late.
Or
I think he's got her. She's gonna be one of us or gone probably by tomorrow.
Nyx is still kind of like rubbing the side of his head. His head's kind of like spinning at the moment. Like he hears what she says, but it doesn't completely register. All he was thinking was the phrase, "Good soldiers follow orders," over and over again in his head until it finally clicks. And he goes, "It was probably a long shot. Anyway."
Yeah, probably.
Make a lore check, Raestra. You have advantage on this for reasons.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to not worry about it. That's a natural 20.
Cool beans. You kind of settle your breathing and close your eyes for a second to think about that dream, to open yourself up to the force. And the machine, the gears kind of as like a door opens before you, and you kind of feel you must have made a connection with that girl when you sensed her essence in an echo. And things in the dream became a little more clear. Like the chair she was strapped to didn't look like the one you were strapped to. You strapped like arms, like, and you got sort of sounds and vibes around the area that you were connected to her, because this was like when Rey and Kylo were talking to each other, and you sensed like other presences, but you didn't sense any of your brothers or sisters or him. You didn't sense like big dark side vibes. You just sensed this girl and her fear, and the connection that you guys formed, if even but a thread, was like tightened while you dreamed.
Do I know where she is?
You know, with that lore check, you can't be doing this, it would kill you. That if she were projecting off planet, that's a feat that's hard. She would have to be close for you to like see her clearly and hear what she said to you.
She's still on the planet.
Wait, what?
It was a bad dream. Maybe I overreacted.
No.
I don't feel any brothers or sisters.
Then maybe they're not here. Maybe the Empire just has her. And if that's the case, we could probably still get her out.
It depends. If they...
It would mean that... Wait a minute, hold on. That would mean that that they have her, they know what she is, but the Inquisition hasn't gotten here yet.
Yeah, we don't know if they're... we don't know how much contact they've made.
If the Imperials have her, they've got her locked up, then they don't need to rush. They'll get here when they get here.
Your imp, I don't know.
It's your comm.
My comm?
Yeah.
He's gonna pick it up.
She lays on the floor instinctively to avoid holograms, and then remembers that it doesn't work, that he doesn't have one, and sits back up.
Agent 35.
Yes.
This is the eye.
She looks at him and mouths, "The eye? What?"
Wait, oh, right, the eye, right, of course. What news do you have for me?
You asked for more info about the gang war. I just got some, honestly, hearsay, but it's more than one account, that shady individuals who were not wearing skag armbands, there we go, armbands, were seen. One of them had a girl over his shoulder. Twi'lek.
Twi'lek girl. That perfect.
Yes, the individuals were...
Wait, it wasn't Skags, right?
No.
Was it?
It was a Zabrak and an Aqualash.
I was about to say, just panicked. What's
You know
going on
where?
with Zabrak?
No.
Do you know
was
where
on-
that girl is key witness in an
It was on
investigation that I'm under?
It was on level 1000. One eyewitness report was on level 1000, the other was on the lifts lower. That's all I have.
Have you sent imps yet? He catches himself and he says, "Have you sent stormtroopers yet?"
No, of course not. This is amazing. The riffraff are fighting amongst themselves. They'll take themselves out.
She just
perfect.
mouths. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know.
Wonderful. I'll investigate the situation, make sure that everything is on the up and up. Well done.
Thank you, Agent 35.
And he's gonna hang up.
The eye out.
I love him so much.
We have to save this man.
We have to save Juris. We have to deprogram Juris. I love him. He's so stupid. He's so dumb. I love him so much.
They don't have her.
They don't have her.
It's,
No.
it's the Red Sun. The Red Sun has her.
I never thought I'd say the words. Thank God.
We
Okay,
can still
so
save her. We can still get her off planet. We can still save someone.
We
And he's
can't-
gonna like shoot. He stands right up.
she pushes his shoulders down. Relax. Let's get our contact to get the ship today. Let's get in contact with the other two. We'll let them know what we found out. Relax.
Sorry, I'm relaxed. Sorry, I'm still running on the adrenaline from the drink.
Yeah, she gets up and she starts making coffee, and she's just under her breath sarcastically is like, I don't want to fight the Emperor. Fighting the Emperor is a bad idea. I am, however, gonna gallivant off at the first sign of danger in order to help somebody but we can't.
Oh, I'm from Space New Zealand.
Yeah, Space New Zealand.
So it's a simple man trying to make it in the galaxy.
Just making fun of him
Listen.
under her breath. Loud enough that he can hear it.
Yeah, while you're at it over there, why don't you help yourself some more leftover stew?
Maybe I will.
Maybe you should.
Put it on a bun, it'll be a sloppy Joe.
Maybe I won't out of
Yeah,
spite.
put it-
Why don't you do that?
Just give me my coffee. My calf.
My calf.
Listen, I didn't write it.
I know it's awful.
I didn't make up jizz. I didn't make up. I just know the facts, and I'm telling you them.
I am the keeper of the knowledge. I did not create it. Simply because I hold the frame in which the picture is contained does not mean that I drew it in the first place.
Look at this photograph.
So hey, Ash, can we get our ship?
Yeah, we could end right now, but I think I have one more thing because you all need to go back to your jobs unless Ray and Nix want to do something else.
No,
But-
that's it. We're passive aggressive about food and coffee for about 20 minutes before we go to work, i.e. the usual.
Oh, first, before we go to Ash, when you get to your job, there is an envelope that not an envelope, it's like a case. It's like a very official, like Men in Black, but it's more like hexagonal and angular in shape than just a perfect square. And Dex is like, well, like a stormtrooper came and said this was for you, Nix.
Oh, it's
If
fine.
If it's drugs, don't do them here.
It is not, and I'm gonna look at how many credits are in this envelope.
5,000 credits.
Woo! I'm
Whoa.
giving Dix 100.
Oh,
That's
okay.
coming with your cut, my dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, she looks at him and she goes, and she takes it. She, like, just takes hers, and then she gives him a look. He knows. She hoards money like a fucking dragon.
Dex's big, like, eyes get wide, and he, like, leans in, but that doesn't make a difference, because his, like, vocalizer is just... but he's like, did you get paid to assassinate that magistrate?
Maybe.
No.
If so, good. Like, I didn't like him.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, she beats him to it instantly and just goes, maybe.
I'm just gonna add the money in my account
Yeah.
preemptively.
Yeah, this is money for killing a monster in the trash area.
So, that your answer is maybe.
Yeah. Whatever helps you sleep.
Oh, I sleep just fine.
How do you sleep at night? On my side with the window open?
In a very big bed. My head is large.
My head is large.
As it is, my friend, as it is. All right.
But now to Ash.
Because Ash is the Jeff of the group, working through the night, just because, she probably working on shit, is kind of therapeutic for her. It helps her go to sleep. And so after she sends her message, she tinkered with her light pistol a little bit, and added a couple of things, notably a harpoon.
Yes.
A harpoon
Ascension
drill,
guns.
because I can
Nobody
do that.
talks about how stupid that is in Phantom Menace. They're like ascension guns, as if the word grappling hook doesn't exist. And then they all in sync.
I essentially
Anyway, sorry.
attach a harpoon to my pistol before heading off to work.
Cool.
I thought for
I'm sure that will come in handy.
I thought for a split second you were going to say that you attached the harpoon to Lemmy.
Don't
He's
give me
like-
ideas.
You're like, Lemmy, a sand.
Good. Give enough time, it would help his mobility greatly. I go to work.
He's so cute.
And I love my boy.
Your boss, Murder.
Murder.
No.
We made the same exact joke in the first session. It's fine.
I love, God, it's Justin's turn on the brain cell.
She greets you. Oh well, hey Ash.
Morning. Did Mr. Onaka happen to leave his contact information here?
Unfortunately, not. He gave a different name than Hondo Onaka, which is what he told you, and no contact info. And he pretty much took that ship off and zoomed away the moment that his friends were done loading whatever that was.
Right, alright, never mind.
Someone was looking for you, though.
Someone was looking for me? Who?
She, waves, and someone who was sitting in a Tordarian.
Oh. Hi.
Hey. You owe me a favor.
I do.
And your boss said I could borrow you.
Alright.
So we're gonna go back to my place. It's on this level. That's how I tracked you down.
Okay.
I have some things. Your mechanical skill. Your boss says you're good. Better be true. Heaton, don't make faces like that. How dare you? Zlig Dolg would never.
Just be in the background. It wouldn't have been a fear if he hadn't have said the words "my place on this level," and I was like,
His place of business in the alley.
fear.
How dare you? How dare you?
Fear. No fear. One fear.
So I go with him. I don't, I owe him this favor, so I'm not gonna
Wordlessly, his wings are making the squeaky noises because they're both metal, prosthetic. Somehow he's flying against all laws of aviation. Wordlessly leads you into the tent, rummages in a trunk, pulls out actually, this would be on actual paper because I think it's funny. It's like a schematic, and it is a little bit of Tordarian anatomy, but there's a little bit of what their wings should look like in the corner. But this schematic is for a jetpack rig instead of wings. I want an upgrade. I tried myself, but the fuel and I'm not good with engine stuff.
I can. Yeah, this doesn't seem too difficult to pull together. If I would be allowed, hold on. I'm actually going to. I'm gonna look over my shit real quick if I can. Aha! I will use a tech point for once and use copy. Copy. The power allows me to create a perfect duplicate of any written, drawn, or digital, visual, audio, or text-based data that I can touch onto a data pad or data card that I supply. I can copy up to 10 pages of text or 10 minutes of visual audio data with one casting of this power. Enhanced documents such as datacrons, blueprints, or encrypted documents can't be copied on with this power, but it's a piece of paper. So I will cast that.
So it lets you copy it, and you want to put it in like Lemmy's databank so he can like 3D.
Yeah, I definitely do that.
Okay.
I'd be like, just so it's easier for me to visualize, of course.
All right, yeah, that's fancy. You do you.
Yeah. Are the parts around that I would need for this?
Yeah, I got everything you need.
All right. I'm not sure how long this will take me, but I'll get to work on it.
Go ahead and make your tool check that we decided that's what it is. You have advantage because of the spell you cast.
Cool. Excellent. Fantastic. Temporary boost. Just to make sure I don't fuck this up. Anti-fucking this up.
Do it correctly. Be able to give your paladin a fly speed.
This is for a replacement of Tordarian wings. This is not building a true jetpack.
I know, but it's a start!
It's a start! Okay, that's not terrible. I would have expertise in this. It would be intelligence based, so that would be a +8 to this. That'd be 22.
22, not terrible? Sure, yeah. It
I
takes you a
rolled
little
a
bit of
17
time.
on the die! I don't know what to tell you.
And as you're like with the like soldering, he's like, I heard you ask about Hondo.
Yeah, it was kind of foolish of me. I'm looking to maybe get off planet finally. It's not. Coruscant's not for me.
You could like pay for a shuttle.
That's true, but I kind of want to go way out of the way.
Oh, paying for a shuttle's out of the question. Yeah. I get you. Hondo is someone, though he isn't currently in the middle of smuggling all that crazy dust for Red Sun.
See, okay. I mean that tracks. He was quite in and out.
Yeah, he just left, but he'll be back. Probably another workshop. That's his scam. You picked up on it, right? You don't look so good. Okay. He's got fake legit clearance codes and no inspections if you just take off from a needed repair.
Yeah.
You be careful about him though. He's well, unscrupulous.
He's a piece of work.
Well, no, scrupulous. Actually, it would be scrupulous. Basic's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how else I'm gonna get off planet in a way that matters, I guess.
I can. If you want to meet, I can reach that. I know everybody on 1313. But they all buy from me.
I would appreciate that, thank you.
Though don't. Hondo and Akka, scrupulous, Red Sun, don't mess with them. Bad news.
Laughs in foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Laughs in Brooke knows, Ash doesn't. Yeah, don't worry. I don't plan on sticking my nose where it don't belong.
Good. In that case, you should be here. But you owe me a favor.
Yeah, I know.
One is on and like the thrusters. And he's like, whoa.
Careful.
I guess that works. You get the other one on, and then it's kind of like. Now I don't squeak when I flap. I don't even need to flap. Yeah. He like rubs his hands together. You know what? This is a bang up job. You get a little bit of a tip. And he like gestures to a gun rack.
Excellent.
Like pick one, but not one of the fancy ones.
Fancy off
Run a
limits, got
business.
it.
Run a
So
business.
what's available to me, DM?
Pretty much if it's simple, he's got it. He
Mhm.
probably has not an assault cannon, no cannons in general, not a chain gun, not a bowcaster, even though that would be cool. He doesn't have any slug throwers because
Right.
but pretty much almost everything else on that list. You see something? Do you have the list up?
Yeah, I pulled it up and I mean it's a lot here. I guess I will take a I'll take a blaster rifle.
Blaster rifle.
Yeah, I'll add a
Cool.
blaster rifle to my inventory. Thank you kindly.
It's not that many credits. Yeah. Thank you. This is, and it goes like high, like ooh, yeah. I can get used to this. I've been looking for someone I could trust, and with the skill sets, it's hard down here on 1313. You're a good kid. Get out of here as soon as possible.
Duly noted.
If you want to stay that way.
I give him a nod and then I head back to work.
One last thing. Cal does go back to work.
Yes.
He does. And normal rigmarole, you exchange words with Snaz. But this time, since you were looking for it, you perception checked this last time. This time you do also see, at around the same time, a Zabrak female and an Aqualish male kind of pick up the leaf, the container that you stored the leaves, because the leaves are toxic, they're coated in toxin, and they're to be disposed of. But this time they kind of stop and talk to the person that hands it off to them, a little bit of back and forth, and then they don't take it. They instead walk like across past your workspace and in a different direction. Bum, bum, bum. But that's where we'll end.
Star Wars First Resistance is a live play Dungeons & Dragons podcast using the Star Wars 5e system, which can be accessed for free at sw5e.com. Our podcast features the player talent of BubblingBrooke as Ashaa-kai, Silver Keyblade as Calchin Phimiir, Ben Lepard as Nyx, HitenNoRuroni as Raestra Akkan, and this Justin as the Game Master. You can find links to our social medias in the description. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please, we would love it if you left a positive review, commented, and shared this with your friends. We can't thank you enough for listening to us goof around and tell stories, and we hope you'll join us on next episode. Until then, may the Force be with you.